Hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the 21-day soul cleansing journey. We are in week 2. We made it. We survived week 1. And look. Look at that. Hi, welcome. We made it to week 2 of the soul cleansing journey. How about them apples? And I love this filter. I love the snowflakes. Week 2 is going to be really exciting for the soul cleansing journey, because now that we have gotten the first week out of the way about releasing judgments and expectations, that's honestly the hardest part, because that's really the only part that really is keeping us from being in our bliss, which is what week 2 is about, which is really ultimately what the soul cleansing journey is about, is really being able to align with your authentic bliss, be in your divine, highest, truest self, and your divine, feminine, masculine, whole. All of our chakras aligned, all of our vibrations at the highest of its frequency, right? So I hope, that's my hope for the journey, and why I've been, and my belief that it does help, because I've been, doing it since before my baby was born. That's like 7 years. They're the same year. They have the same year birthday. But that's, there's a reason why I still want to do it every year. There's a reason why it has been something that matters to me, and then matters not only for me to do, because it really truly is for me, but also it's something that it is for me as well, because, well, a part of my bliss, what makes me feel really good and happy and joyous and at peace and exhilarated and alive and feeling like I'm in my purpose, is being able to share, the joy that of living in your vibration. Of course, you want everyone to feel joyful, because then everything is happier and better and excited. And if we could just live in love and allow that, it's so much easier said than done, right? That's why we have to have a reoccurring 21-day soul cleansing journey, because life isn't always, there's also this really fun idea that is talked about in the sense of waking up, right? Being woke. And that journey is this journey. That is where I felt was the beginning, the awakening of my soul expansion. You know what I'm talking about, if you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, the awakening of consciousness. And I think we do have little bits of it, and it's not it's not always oh my gosh, that's it. Sometimes it's comes from a place, from such a dark night of the soul, is what you can call it, so that you can become that phoenix rising, right? Ooh, look, the snowflakes look like a phoenix rising. But you can't, right? You can't get to the phoenix rising until you go through the dark night of the soul. And that shit ain't easy. And the soul cleansing journey isn't about an awakening to your highest conscious being. Isn't about never experiencing tough shit, because that's just impossible. Sorry if you hear my son, he's upstairs playing. He knows when it's soul cleansing time. He understands. But gotta let him enjoy his self as well. But anyway, that's what we're talking about today anyways, Bliss, in week 2. This week we're going to focus, it's going to feel so delicious. It's my favorite week, because you get to focus on what it is that makes you happy, and truly happy, like soul happy, like your heart and soul dances and sings and can't stop, wanting to, that feeling, right? Whatever it is for you. It can be the love of, an activity like dancing or singing or painting or drawing or reading, or it could be an activity, or it could be the love of people. Like, we are in the winter season, and Christmas is literally like a week from today, y'all. So the New Year's, like, it all is like a fun, exciting time. And last week we released the biggest blockage of being our truest self is the fears, the false expectations appearing real, right? The false evidence appearing real, the false emotions appearing real, the false, what else? Energy, everything, all the things that are false is what makes up fear. So recognizing that truth is what we worked on and talked about last week, and being able to decipher between what is real and what is not. What is second, is this a secondhand experience? Is this from someone else's thoughts, from someone else's comparisons, from someone else's expectations about who they think I need to be, or who even my ego thinks I need to be in order to be successful or ego happy, you could call it. And so, hold on. I'm like getting all excited, and then I like get all channel-y when spirit speaks through me. So anyway, with day 8, what is bliss work? That's the question. So I like to call it bliss work because it's the work you do in your bliss. It's the work that brings you bliss. And I love the word bliss. I think that is an underrated word. But that's exactly what this human experience is about, right? Like finding and aligning and living in your bliss, and your deepest happiness, and your truest self, and your most beautiful, full, real, authentic, happy, fulfilled self, in creating a world around you that is like these little snowflake fairies. You just feel like you're in a world of snowflake fairies all day. So how do we get there? Well, we got through the hardest part. That's recognizing that we have a blockage, which is fear. period. And when we can get through fear, because fear is just like that, again, the acronym of it all. That is to make us to believe that is a truth that we have to abide by. That is a truth that we have to agree to. But the reality is you don't have to agree to it. You know, you don't have to agree to anything that it's not aligned with you. Even if you're the only one agreeing. And sometimes, most of the time, well, the Spirit says that's how trailblazers, path leaders, right, pave new paths. It's the pathless woods. Oh, yesterday the tea bag said, "There's pleasure in the pathless woods." I don't remember who said that. Lord Byron? I don't know. But when we know where we know what is not true, when we know what is no longer a truth for you, and if it doesn't resonate in your body, if it doesn't feel good, you know. Actually, I love it. Alicia Keys and Deepak Chopra have the 21-day soul cleansing journey that Oprah started with Deepak, and that's what got me on, which is funny, kind of all started at the same time. It was great. But Alicia Keys does the last one, and it's the awakening of the divine feminine, which I love, duh. And she talks about that. She talks about living in your bliss. She talks about what is bliss. And this, I don't know when this series came out. This was the most recent. So like a year ago, 2? Yeah, within the last couple of years or so. So, I just love it so much. I still listen to her episodes like as much as I can. I used to do it every day. I would just pick a random one. But she had a day that was about living in your bliss. And she says, well, how do you know if it's like your bliss or like if it's right for you? And she said, well, is it a yes? And you kind of asking yourself, well, how do I know if it's yes? Well, is it a hell yes? if it's not a hell yes, she says if it's not a yes, you can also say, then it's a hell. Then it's a no. Oh, I've heard that somewhere else as well. If it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no. But anyway, in this case, because it was divine feminine, and she classy, she was saying, if it's not your yes, then it's your no. And if it's not your yes, then it's not your bliss. So you have to ask yourself, and you have to be really real with yourself. And you have to like feel every sensation in your body when you ask yourself that question. Like, how does your heart feel when you think about that? How does your mind feel? What do you, sometimes like for me, like when I think about something that brings me bliss, like even just then, my heart felt warm, and then it started to flutter, and it's like pounding, like a little bit like thicker. I don't know if that makes sense. And so you want to like sit with that, you know, and be like, do I like this feeling? Like sometimes it can even be like, I need to take a deep breath in order to even like let this feeling come through. And then you have this sense of like nirvana, which nirvana in Buddhism means to exhale. So it's like the exhale, the release. And when you are in a state of bliss, it does feel like a sense of exhale. And me, I'm a crier because I'm mostly water, besides my fiery ass Aries and my stubborn ass Taurus bull. Everything else is pretty much Pisces and Cancer. And that makes me cry a lot. So if you've ever watched Elemental, that's a great movie recommendation to find your bliss and to follow your bliss. Follow your heart, right? Follow your love. Follow love is really what it is. And Elemental is one of the cutest Pixar's. Almost, it's like right up there with my favorite of Inside Out. But I love that it's the elements. So it's like earth and water and fire and air, and trying for them to like live together. And water and fire elements fall in love, and it's like they have this like whole opposite like background, and like they're like, we don't like, water doesn't mess with fire, what are you talking about, like, do you know what fire and water will do? And they like can't help it. They just like, they're like, I know, but I don't understand. I'm like, don't understand. It's the cutest. It's the cutest movie. And I literally am the water sign who just like cries the whole time, because I literally cried through the whole movie. And the reason why I brought that up was because even in sitting in that space for that moment with you guys, with you all, whoever, you know, if you're listening, and if you felt that too, like, to me, when I recognize when it's a space of bliss, I get really emotional. If I'm like feeling so much love, I should cry. And it goes like that too. And sometimes you do have to like let yourself get to that place. And you have to recognize that crying is not a bad thing, A, and B, it's not a weakness. Like, just like yesterday's reading when I pulled the oracle cards of Lemuria, vulnerability came out, I think the day before, along with the heart chakra, and then alignment, new blueprint, freedom, and crown chakra came out yesterday. And it's the space of vulnerability that allows you to really experience all of your senses. You know, we are a multi-sensational, dimensional, you know, spiritual being in this human experience. And we have to remember that. That's what the crown chakra means. That's your unlimited self. And fun fact, Aquarians, their chakra alignment is the 7th chakra, which is the crown chakra, and they actually do not match with any element, even though it's air. But in the chakra book that I love, by Liz Simpson, let me go through it. Okay, the crown chakra, because we also are closing out our year of the crown chakra. Why the year of the crown chakra? Because of to 2023, right? You have to, if you add 2 plus 2 plus 3 is 7, right? And 7 is the crown chakra, the 7th chakra. That's the Om symbol. This guy. Can you see it? I can't see if you can see it. That guy. That's my first tattoo. And I didn't even know what it meant. And that's what it means. Oh, it's right on the front. That's what it means to follow your bliss. What's funny is my mom gave me a purple tapestry when I was 16, and I put it up in my wall in my room because I was going through some shit. And I said, what does this mean? And she's like, it means peace within yourself. And I was like, well, I need as much peace within myself. Hey, mama. I was just talking about you. You heard. Welcome. Talking about the Om tapestry from when I was 16 that you gave me. And I said, what does it mean? And you said, peace within yourself. And I said, I need some of that. As much as that as I can handle. And well, I'm trying to do my best to get as much as that as I can handle. Hence why I am excited that we're on day 8, week 2 of the journey. And we get to tap into our bliss. We get to focus this week on following our bliss. And really allowing that space of all sensations, what that means, what brings you bliss, the overwhelming joy that sometimes even just the thought of it, like I was saying right before you hopped on, I was talking about how every time I think about what really brings me like pure bliss, I literally start tearing up every time. It never fails. And so that is what the aim is in this life, right? I mean, that's the aim of this life. By the way, don't you love the snowflakes? They remind me of Frozen 2, like little Olaf swirls. That's the whole point. Like this part, like this, like, oh, I'm gonna do this really cute little filter because it's cute and it makes me smile and it brings bliss, and I already look like I'm in a winter wonderland, so I might as well. And it's okay, you know. Bliss is being in your most authentic self, which is your crown chakra, which is the year we are in, which is what we were just talking about. And we're closing up that crown chakra year. So we're really, really embracing the embodiment of what it means to really live in alignment with your bliss work. Like with what it means to live in alignment with your bliss. That's what bliss work is. It's the work that you do that aligns you with your bliss. It's one of my favorite little Melita Irictionary quote, coined phrases that I love. Bliss work. And then that's why I brought this up too, because then I was talking about how the elements and the zodiacs and how the crown chakra element resonates with Aquarius sign. It's the only sign that has, Aquarius is the only sign in here that has, and Capricorn are the only 2 signs that have their own color of the rainbow, and as well as the associated sense. Well, actually, it's funny because Aquarius doesn't even have, it's beyond self. It doesn't even have the senses. It literally says beyond self, associated sense. And the pineal gland, the main focus, the main issue of its like grand like purpose is really spirituality, aligning with your spirituality, aligning with your spiritual self, your spirit, aligning with your spirit, and what that entails. I mean, that makes so much sense, obviously, right? That's where you meet that peace within yourself, when you can really come into one with yourself and with all that is you, which is love and joy and bliss and fulfillment and excitement and just all the things and all the teens and all the teens. And it's really exciting to think about that, honestly. Like, even just the thought about allowing yourself to tap into that is a beautiful thing. And it's a beautiful privilege that we have as the exquisite beings that we are, right? And I think as I'm recognizing as I get older, the things that start to matter more than what they have not mattered before. You know, like things like like building your own you know, grounding and foundation and it's funny because I really do feel like I have recognized this shift. I remember not feeling this. I remember being like, oh, I don't want to talk about it. And now it's like, okay, like it was just like somehow, like I don't even know, it's just like this, like, all right, I got the rest of my life. And it could be, I know I was just watching one of my favorite astrologers, and I have to watch my other astrologer, Bahati Life, with this week's, because it's supposed to be a really beautiful week in the stars. And there is supposed to be a whirlwind of, you know, Venus beauty in the energy. Look at these little swirlies. I feel like I'm like dancing with with the snowflakes. It's wonderful. That's what we got to do. That's the focus on this week. But also it doesn't mean that Mercury's still not retrograde. And it doesn't mean that things are still shifting. So, you know, this beginning of this week may be challenging to feel. And conversations may be hard to have. And that's okay. Try not to take it too personally, is what Spirit just said. And the energy will shift. Because energy is fluid, and the shift of our sensations are moment to moment, and it's not necessarily bound to time or space. So this focus this week is shifting into the space and the energy of peace and love. And in doing so, that is what will come about and surround. And I'm hearing spirits say that this is an emotional channeling right now. Release the need to control the outcome, to make the outcome be that what you want it to be, and instead allow it. Focus on choose peace. Focus on choosing peace. And laughter. And joy and bliss. And what that means. The question is, what is your bliss? What is your love? What is your desire? I love Deepak Chopra also says in the episode with Alicia Keys in the 21-day meditation experience in the Divine Feminine series, Awakening the Divine Feminine, he says, desire is just bliss, making you aware that it exists. That's a song, y'all. I'm about to put it in a song. Just wait. Desire is just bliss, making you aware that it exists. What does your heart yearn for? What does your soul yearn for? What does your body yearn for? What does your mind yearn for? The stimulation, fulfilling, I just heard cognitively stimulating. What is that for you? And then move in that direction. It's quite simple, Spirit said. Spirit got jokes. It's quite simple. Okay. What else you got, Spirit, from Lemuria? What else you got, Spirit, from Lemuria, on today's Bliss? The Oracles of Lemuria. Beyond Lemuria Oracle deck is my favorite Oracle deck by Izzy Ivy. That's the back of the card. She's a beautiful artist. And got her in Bainbridge, Washington. Took a little ferry from Seattle. It was the cutest. I love ferries. I've only been on them like once. I got a lot of life to live. But I loved it. I loved going onto that little island and just walking up. And actually, the way that I got this deck was stumbling upon the store. Just the apothecary that was there. Who would have thunk? Who would have thunk? It was so cute, and the owner, she was so cute. I'm pretty sure we still follow each other. Oh my gosh. What was that? I'm so sorry for that. I forgot your name. I'm gonna find you. I'm gonna shout you out because it was the cutest spot, and I hope it's still kicking. And we got crystals and incense. It was awesome. And this one spoke to me, of course. Beyond Lemuria. And what's funny is one of my favorite astrologers and intuitive channelers now has that deck. And I don't know if it's from me because I'm pretty sure I have like 2 followers on YouTube. So if you want to, catch me on YouTube, come follow me and I'll do more lives there. But I have to have 50 followers on YouTube, and I just really like Instagram for some reason. I don't know, because I'm old and I'm a Taurus fixed sign. Don't like change. I like what I like. Alright. Let's just see what these are, because it's not really falling. We have full spectrum. That's tight. And home. That's also tight. I love the home. This one actually is my favorite because it's number 31, which is my soul path number. And I'm 31 right now, so I'm in my soul path year, which I'm excited about, which is great because look, home. 31 might be a significant number for someone out there as well. Time to come home. And it's perfect because we are in our bliss. And that's what this is about. That's what this week is about. That's what this soul cleansing journey is about. And then number 26 is the full spectrum. Ooh, I love that. I love that because we were just talking about the chakras, and she's all up in her chakras. Yes. With her crown chakra wide open up to the heavens. As above, so below. Wow, it's so interesting. This is so dope. I don't know if I've ever pulled this card before. And 26 reduces to 8, which is the end of cycles, beginning of new cycles, end of old cycles, beginning of new cycles. The infinity, right? Which is also my favorite number. Okay. Thank you, Spirit. I see those signs for me. And maybe 26 is significant for someone. Maybe the number 2 or the number 6 or 6-2 or... I like when people break it down like that sometimes. You can also see how 31 is reduced to 4. And 4 is stability. 4 is also your heart chakra. That's your balance. That's the as above, so below, which is so tight because look at this card. It's like, can you see down here how it's like the skulls, and it's like, I wish it wasn't so blurry, sorry, and I'm kind of like shaky. The David Star of as above, so below, on earth as it is in heaven, right? And then how like these skulls are like, I don't even know what to call it, but they're like vibrating at the frequency, like electrically. I don't even know how to explain it. It's so tight. I'm like literally seeing this as like this transmutation of like death. That's how I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it from like the Kali Mara goddess of transmutation. That is so dope. I bet that's what she talks about too in her thing. We should read it, shall we? Okay, the number 26. The full spectrum, creating heaven on earth by honoring the perfection of nature's cycles. Let me see it. Wow. Going beyond the judgment of good and bad and merging the duality, raw nature, earth wisdom, connecting to ancestors, shadows as the fertile soil for exponential growth. The way forward is in the whisperings of the land, honoring the full spectrum of life. Oh my gosh, this is so perfect because literally the first question says, what does heaven on earth look like to you? And is today not the first day of the second week that's talking about tapping into your bliss work? Tapping into your bliss? Finding your bliss? What is heaven on earth? That's so perfect. Thank you, Lemurian, beautiful guides and angels and spirits and ancestors. Sorry, I live in an apartment complex, so I got loud neighbors. I'm probably just as loud. Do you imagine lush green nature, ancient forests, pristine beaches, crystalline water systems, and all the planets, residents in full health, living in harmony with each other? Yes, I do. And yet, nature in its purest, rawest form is a balance of life and death, growth and decomposition, the eaters and the eaten. In one way or another, this is the natural flux of life. We live in Eden, but our efforts to own and segregate brings us further away from this paradigm. Ushi talking. Power trips, the need for imagined security, fear or avoidance of the shadow keeps us out of our freedom. And we got freedom yesterday. The need to preserve and hold on tightly only stunts our growth and leaves us drowning in a sea of plastic. The real dis-ease on earth is in our minds. That's good. Life happens, but it's our perception of good and bad and our black and white judgments that prevent us from seeing the grander truth. When duality becomes one, we will find Shambhala. I don't know what Shambhala means. Let's find out. We'll find out. Perhaps we can find inspiration from nature and the animal kingdom. If anyone knows what Shambhala means, let me know. We will find Shambhala before us. I wonder if that means peace and harmony, like that kind of word. Does a tiny frog spend its days anxious over its vulnerable future? What happens when we realize fertile compost greets us when we allow ourselves to transmute our pain? That's what this is. The Kali Mara. The Kali Mara, goddess of transmutation. That's why I knew it. I wonder if she's going to bring it up. But I knew that that's what she definitely was going to have to pull up, because that is a really, really powerful, and it's like really such an important message, because week 2 of the soul cleansing journey is really about the process of the transmutation. It's all about the transmutation of, you said, Mom, it's like nirvana or paradise. Oh my gosh, I totally used the word nirvana earlier because I was saying how bliss is like your nirvana. And nirvana is the exhale, the release. I love that. Okay, we are on one tonight. I really like that feeling of being excited, and I don't know. I think the feeling of moving in a space of bliss really starts with like hope too. It's like a sense of hope. It's like, I don't know, but remember trusting uncertainty last week. I don't know what's to come, but I have this hopefulness that all will be well. And you have to see the full spectrum of it like that, right? You have to step out of the black and white mentality of judgment and go beyond the concepts of good and bad. When we judge something, we create a story around it. These stories often create limitation. This card invites you to honor the full spectrum of life and find a new way of perceiving your situation. To heal our dis-ease and crystallize the new way, we need to create a space of no story where miraculous healing can happen. This space empowers us to be all we are and allows us to know our truth. This song, Mom, is reminding me of oh my gosh, I just lost it. Oh, it's when she said, what do you think about when you think of bliss, essentially, or your heaven on earth, and she starts describing, do you see green grass and blue skies and a crystal lake? I see swing sets and swimming pools. Yes. And every breath that I take, I see the darkness fade away, right? When I'm with you. That is one of my favorite songs that I love. Crystal Lake. I will release it one day, y'all. Actually, it's on my Sound Band Lab. I'll get it out there. I did perform it at last week's open mic, and it was a lot of fun. I want to do it again. Mom, you know you and I got to get up on there. We got to do our thing. I think the feeling overall that I'm channeling right now of this space of the collective is it's like this space of like, I guess it's in between. Maybe it's the in between the black and white. Hi, Tony. He said he needs to come say hi. It's like the limbo space, or like the space in between the black or white, like Izzy Ivy was saying, and Beyond Lemuria. It's like allowing things may not be perfect, but trying to allow it to shift the way that it needs to. Trying to allow things. I think it's that moment of like acceptance or peace, like in a space, like, you know how you go through stages of grief, right? Denial, anger, what's the third one? Bargaining, depression, and then acceptance. And it's like that space, that peace, that nirvana, that full spectrum, that moment where it's like, it's very high priestessy. Like, yeah, things are tough. It's not exactly where I want it to be. I still, you know, am I moving in a truck and then I hanging out, and but I'll make it through. This is what has to it's oh wow. I'm just curious of what cards are going to pull out at the collective, because I'm like seeing like the Tower card meets the High Priestess, allowing things, and like the Death card too, because in order for the Phoenix to rise, you have to go through that dark night of the soul. And like, it's like that space. It's like in the space of like, I am, and the Phoenix rising is beautiful, right? You know, when you are in your space of like, I am coming into my butterfly wings. But as you are crystallizing and morphing from the caterpillar into the butterfly, you're going from mushy gushy, right? And that's the purge. That's the dark night of the soul. That's the emergence. I mean, legitimately, the caterpillar deteriorates into mush and then completely recooks itself in the belly of this cocoon made out of silk. And then creates its own self into a brand new freaking creature. A brand new creature. And that is the ascension that we humans also were going through as spiritual beings, as we awaken, as we come back to home. As we come back to home and align. We see the full spectrum. We are aligning. We are merging. Look, and she even has her little wings. I know that's right. But it's like that's the kind of the space. It's like the transmutation. The tower that has to fall. It has to disassemble. It has to crumble. You know when you make temperance, look, balance. Alchemizing. That's exactly what temperance is. Alchemizing. Pouring the water, the energy, the cold and the hot water to merge it into warm, into sustainable. There's a whole new foundation that has to be made, and just like a construction site, you got to tear it down to build it back up. I used to say that to my T-Mobile customers. They'd be like, why are the towers really bad? And I'm like, well, it's just, when you got to think of a construction site. Construction zones suck. You have to tear everything down. There's debris everywhere. And then you have, especially if it's on a highway, you got bottleneck for days. Look, the Wheel of Fortune. In reverse though. The wheels are turning. Retrograde. Juggling though. I think it's so funny. I always only like to see one side. And I'm like, what's the other side doing? Look at that. Juggling. Lots of balancing going on in our masculine energy. Ooh, sorry, the glare. But we got the Knight of Pentacles. And the Knight of Pentacles, like we know, is the slowest knight in the deck, but the most stable and grounded, and has the most, is loyal to its promise. Ooh, that was a good bridge. I get few and far between good bridges and these shuffling. I always think of Indigo's great grandma, Grandma Jenny. She taught me how to shuffle and make the bridge. Look, talking about the angels up above, we got Judgment. It's Judgment Day. Oh, and the star, the Aquarius, the hope. Sorry, sometimes I feel like I don't even like pull cards. I just like want to shuffle, and then I'm like, ooh, let's talk about what's in the heart space. Right down the middle. What is that? And look, 10 of Cups. Yeah, that's what's right down the middle. With Victory, six of Wands. Bottom of the deck here. Okay. I just want to have one card. Queen of Pentacles. That's the overall energy of where the masculine collective is at. Oh my gosh, look. Queen of Pentacles. Okay. I see you with strength on the divine feminine. Right there. Right there with in alignment. The masculine. That is alignment. And we had alignment yesterday too, wasn't it? We also had alignment. Uh-oh. These decks are too big. Or this, oops, okay. This deck is too big to be able to like, I could shuffle as well than the other ones. Oh, and then, so 6 of Swords at the bottom. I'm gonna call it, see that? That's moving away. That's moving away and moving into, yeah. Taking who you need with you. And that's it. Beep. Hi. Hi, Tony. You want to say hello? Let's see what's up. What do you think? Grandma Toady. That's like he is Grandma Toady. Grandma Toady Popsicle. Alright, and so you're gonna give us a reading? No, you're just saying hello to Mama Nia. He always says hi to you. He loves you. So, the energy, this is interesting, of the energy of the, I got Tony here all over my hand now. The energy of the divine feminine is in a 5 of Cups. She's moving through that grief. Aw, thank you for blessing it. He is very, thank you, baby. You want some food? That's why you're so lovey right now. Okay, I'll get you some food. Okay, let me just finish. Can you move your butt out of the camera, please? That'd be so great. Thank you so much. Okay. Yeah, yep, you can hang out right there. That's perfect. I know. We love Tony. He loves you. You gotta hang out. Like, oh, I said his name again. He said, "Did you say my name?" Tony. I'll be done. Thank you. So she's in her 5 of Cups. She's going through that grief. And I like the 5 of Cups in this one because the booklet will explain this 5 of Cups as the grieving process and allowing yourself the grace and the gentle compassion of as you go through the grieving process. And I just said that I was feeling that we're going through this grieving process, did I not? But 5 of Cups, 5 is change. 5 is the shift in the paradigm, and that's where we're also going through. Can I just explain these last 2 and then we can be done, okay? Would that be okay? You want to hang out here? All right, I'm going to read around you. I hope you can focus on what I'm trying to say, because I can't focus on what I'm trying to say. We're going to get through this. Thank you so much. He's got so much to say, because look, he's like, just this is where we're at right now. This is the space we're at. Love and dove and snuggles. Then we also have the 4 of Pentacles in reverse. And was it the 8 of Swords that was also in reverse, or no? I think it was like this. 8 of Swords reverse, or 8 of Swords and 4 of Pentacles reverse. 8 of Swords is really in your head. And thank you. And then the 4 of Pentacles is really holding tight onto what you want. That's like what I was talking about earlier. That was the channeled message that Spirit was trying to come through, of saying, let go of what you want and get out of your head. Don't take it personally of the circumstances that have to break down in order to rebuild the foundation, the 4. But it's going to be okay, because you're really just going through the grieving process. Comes my little one. Hey, Babas. I'm just finishing up. I love you. So, I mean, we pretty much, like, this is really is the gist of it all. Allow yourself to go through the grieving process and see what it is that you want. I got all my sons coming at me for dinner, okay? Mama's being summoned. Allow yourself to go through the grieving process. Allow yourself to transform into the queen that you are, the queen of royalty, the queen of grounding, the queen of stability. Allow yourself to grieve. Allow yourself to break down. Allow yourself to find acceptance, because when you do, you reach your home. You reach alignment. Look at the full spectrum of it all. Go within. See what it is that is truly, truly shifting within you and for you and around you, because it is shifting for you. And trust that. All right? Okay. I think I'm going to go ahead and peace out. Because he's, oh, hey, what's up, Indigo? Mama Nee is on here. And so is Mr. Bear. He said, what? Everyone, thank you so much. Until tomorrow. They didn't see you. Peace and love. Bye.